This is the September 8th, 2021 meeting of the Planning Board. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Matt?
Recessed because the applicants are not ready to be heard at a final subdivision, Old Dock Land Division in Kings Park.
Is there anyone here who would like to be heard on this matter that's going to be recessed? Any questions from the board on this? All right, hearing none, I move that we recess item 1 as read.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion adopted.
The first item under public hearings is extension of conditional final approval for the Gemini Landing. The applicant requests an extension of conditional final approval for the subdivision number 1181, map of Gemini Landing. The subdivision number 1181, map of Gemini Landing 2, received conditional final approval from the Planning Board on September 2nd, 2020. Conditional approval of the subdivision expired on August 28th, 2021. The applicant submitted a request for a second extension on August 16th, 2021. The applicant requires additional time in order to file the subdivision and performance bond paperwork with the town. The Planning Department has no objection to the request and recommends an extension period of 180 days. The Planning Department offers the following resolution for the board's consideration. Planning Board Resolution number blank 2021, extension of conditional final approval for number 1181, map of Gemini Landing. Whereas the Planning Board has considered the request of Vincent J. Tremarco to extend the conditional final approval for the subdivision known as number 1181, map of Gemini Landing 2. Now therefore be it first resolved that the Planning Board hereby approves a retroactive 180-day extension of time to the conditional final approval for the subdivision known as number 1181, map of Gemini Landing 2 to expire on February 24th, 2022.
Is there anyone here representing the applicant? Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, members of the board. My name is Vincent Tremarco. I represent the applicant. I've submitted the affidavit of posting with a picture to Matt Colato. I respectfully request you go along with the Planning Department's recommendation and grant the extension.
Thank you. And the affidavit of posting is good? Is there anyone else who would like to be heard on this matter? Any questions from the board? Hearing none, in the matter of number 1181, map of Gemini Landing 2, I move that we close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? The hearing is closed. And in the matter of number 1181, map of Gemini Landing 2, I move that we adopt the resolution as read in accordance with the recommendation of the Planning Department.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? The motion is adopted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next is an extension of a performance bond for Nottingham Acres Section 1. The applicant requests a retroactive extension of the performance period of the performance bond for the subdivision number 1086, map of Nottingham Acres, Section 1. The subdivision number 1086, map of Nottingham Acres, Section 1, was granted conditional final approval by the Planning Board on January 11th, 2017. The subdivision contains 14 lots, approximately 1,100 feet of roadway, and a recharge basin. Performance bond estimate in the amount of $464,908.75 was approved by the Planning Board and subsequently signed by the Chairman. The Town Board accepted the performance bond on May 25th, 2017. The performance period of the performance bond expired on May 25th, 2021. The applicant filed for an extension on August 24th, 2021, and has indicated they are presently constructing the subdivision and need more time to complete the public improvements. The Engineering Department and Highway Department have no objection to the request. The Traffic Safety Department has not provided comments. The Planning Department has no objection to the request. The Planning Department offers the following resolution for the board's consideration. That's Planning Board Resolution number blank 2021, extension of performance period of the performance bond for number 1086, map of Nottingham Acres, Section 1. Whereas the Planning Board has considered the request of Storybook Homes to retroactively extend the performance period of the performance bond for the subdivision number 1086, map of Nottingham Acres, Section 1, for a period of 2 years. Now therefore be it first resolved that the Planning Board hereby approves a retroactive extension of the performance period of the performance bond for the subdivision number 1086, map of Nottingham Acres, Section 1, to expire on May 25th, 2023.
Thank you. Is there anyone here representing the applicant? Please state your name and address for the record. Come up to the mic. The affidavit, yes, please.
Thanks. Yep.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Douglas Hornberger, 100 Route 347, Nesconset. I'm the Vice President of Storybook Homes.
Do you have any questions?
Well, I mean, Mr. Collado has pretty much explained what we're here
Yeah.
for the performance bond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to be heard on this matter? Any questions from the board? In the matter of number 1086, map of Nottingham Acres, Section 1, I move that we close the public hearing.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? The hearing is closed. And in the matter of number 1086, map of Nottingham Acres, Section 1, I move that we adopt the resolution as read in accordance with the recommendation of the Planning Department.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? The motion is adopted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next item is a waiver request for the Dorothy Platt subdivision in Nesconset. The applicant requests to waive 200 feet of sidewalk within the subdivision number 1113, map of Dorothy Platt. The subdivision number 1113, map of Dorothy Platt, received conditional final approval from the Planning Board on November 4th, 2009. The subdivision was bonded for 200 feet of sidewalk along the cul-de-sac on Dorothy Street. Dorothy Street has been identified by the Planning Department as a residential access street with low traffic volume, and there are currently no sidewalks near the subdivision to connect to. The Planning Department recommends the Planning Board waive the sidewalks on Dorothy Street within the subdivision. The Engineering and Highway Department have no objection to the request. The Traffic Safety Department has not provided comments. The Planning Department offers the following resolution for the Board's consideration. Planning Board Resolution number 2021, waiver of public improvements for number 1113, map of Dorothy Platt. Whereas the Planning Board has considered the request of Joseph Giordinella to waive 200 feet of sidewalk within the subdivision number 1113, map of Dorothy Platt. Now therefore be it first resolved that the Planning Board hereby waives 200 feet of sidewalk within the subdivision number 1113, map of Dorothy Platt, for the following reasons. 1, Dorothy Street is a residential access street with low traffic volume. 2, there are no sidewalks on Dorothy Street near the subdivision to connect to.
Louis Castellano. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Mr. Giordinella. We would just like to waive the sidewalks, like Matthew said. There's no sidewalks in the area, and we feel we'll conform to the neighborhood. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, does anybody have any questions for the board on this matter? Any questions from the board? Okay, in the matter of number 1113, map of Dorothy Platt, I move that we close the public hearing.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. The hearing is closed. And in the matter of number 1113, map of Dorothy Platt, I move that we adopt the resolution as read in accordance with the recommendation of the Planning Department.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. The motion is adopted.
The next item is an application to improve filed Platt Street, Osgood Place. The applicant is requesting to approve the construct a portion of the unimproved filed Platt Street known as Osgood Place in order to build a home on Suffolk County Tax Map number 800, 101, 4, 64, and 65. Pursuant to Section 280A of Town Law, No permit for the erection of any building shall be issued unless a street or highway giving access to such proposed structure has been duly placed on the official map or plan. Additionally, before such permit shall be issued, such street or highway shall have been suitably improved to the satisfaction of the town board or planning board. In this case, it is the Smithtown Planning Board. Osgood Place is a 50-foot wide paper street, approximately 280 feet long, located on the south side of Waverly Avenue in Smithtown. The applicant is proposing to construct a 16-foot wide private road, approximately 162 feet in length. The proposed private road will have mountable curbing, and the southern portion of the road provides for a T turnaround. The road is positioned on the west side of the paper street in order to avoid an existing gravel driveway located in the paper street, providing access to 18 Waverly Avenue. The proposed home is located on the east side of the paper street. It appears there is at least one other vacant lot on the west side of the paper street that could be developed with a single-family dwelling and use the proposed private road for access. The topography of the site is relatively flat, ranging from 51 feet above sea level to 48 feet above sea level. This location in Smithtown does contain areas of high groundwater. However, a test hole was conducted on the site, and groundwater was encountered 22 feet below grade. This is not considered high groundwater. The engineering, highway, and traffic safety departments have found the application acceptable. The planning department has found the application acceptable. The Department of Environment and Waterways recommends the applicant contact the New York State DEC Regional Wildlife Office prior to development, due to the site being in the vicinity of animals listed on the state's endangered or threatened list. Additional information: the amount of the performance bond is estimated at $38,834. 2, the amount of the cash deposit is $500. 3, the amount of the performance bond to be posted with the town is $38,334. 4, the amount of the inspection fee is $3,107. The planning department offers the following resolution for the board's consideration. Planning board resolution number 2021. It's a 280A application for Osgood Place. Whereas the planning board has considered the request of Peter Rasso for a 280A application to construct a portion of an unimproved filed plat street known as Osgood Place. Now therefore be it first resolved that the planning board hereby approves the 280A application on Osgood Place, subject to the following conditions: A, posting of a performance bond in form and amount specified by a separate resolution of the planning board and for a term of 2 years. B, posting of a general liability insurance policy to run concurrently with the term of the performance bond and in accordance with other provisions of Section 248 of the Code of the Town of Smithtown Subdivision Regulations. C, payment of an inspection fee and cash deposit as established by a separate resolution of the planning board. D, a road opening permit shall be obtained from the highway department prior to any construction activity. E, the applicant shall contact the engineering department prior to any construction activity. F, the applicant shall contact the New York State DEC Regional Wildlife Office prior to any construction activity. And G, the proposed private road is not for exclusive use of any homeowner. Maintenance of the private road shall be the responsibility of all property owners that use this road to access their property. Second, resolve that approval of this 280A application shall be valid for a period of 180 days unless a performance bond has been posted with the town board in satisfactory amount. The applicant can request an extension of approval from the planning board. And planning board resolution number blank 2021, authorization to sign the performance bond estimate for the 280A application Osgood Place. Whereas the town departments of engineering, traffic safety, highway, and planning have prepared a performance bond estimate to cover the cost of all required public improvements. Now therefore be it first resolved that the chairman of the planning board is authorized to sign the performance bond estimate for a 280A application, Osgood Place, in the amount of $38,834 and establish an inspection fee of $3,107 and a cash deposit of $500. Therefore, the amount of the performance bond to be posted with the town shall be $38,334.
Thank you, Matt. Is there anyone here representing the applicant? Please step up to the mic and give your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Peter Rasso. I'm here for the project and the owner of the project, and here I am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, is there anyone else who would like to be heard on this matter?
You can go up to the,
Up to the
Want me to sit
mic.
down?
mic. Name and address, please. You can put, yeah.
Kathleen Scott, my address is 52 Signet Drive, Smithtown, New York. My husband was unable to be here. He's Walter Scott. He's the owner of 3 parcels of land that this directly affects. We have no knowledge of this. We only recently saw the subdivision sign this weekend. Therefore, we have many questions on how this will affect him, because certainly it can adversely affect him as landlocking 2 parcels of land which he owns. Additionally, any liabilities he may encounter as a result of this road being opened, and therefore the maintenance of it. And again, we have had no information with regard to this at all, so we have many questions with regard to it and don't feel that anything should pass this evening.
Could you identify for the board the parcels that you're specifically referring to?
Yes. On the corner of Waverly, the 3 down on Osgood, across from the driveway.
So it would be the property that we're looking at to our left, correct?
Yes,
And would it encompass all 4 lots?
he owns 3 lots.
And the first 3?
Yes.
And do you have any knowledge who the 4th owner is?
Someone handed me a map I can verify for you.
It's a different owner. I believe it was sterilized through a transfer of development rights.
Oh, okay.
The TDR's affecting that parcel of land, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the fourth, the most southern one
So
on the left
there'll
side.
never be anything built on that lot
But
that's,
that one's not my husband's lot. He owns the 3 prior that he can build on.
Okay. Now, your objections or your comments, please.
Well, the major objection is that we're being backdoored here. We had no information at all. So that is a major objection. The objection would be having to do with what type of liability that this now opens us up to, being that we own 3 parcels that will now abut to a private road that needs to be maintained in the future. And additionally, what type of usage would be allotted to him to use that road, being that 2 of those plots would then be landlocked if he didn't have access to that road.
Matt, can you answer any of those questions?
Yeah, so basically, they're improving the road, so it wouldn't really be landlocking you. You still have access to it, you just now have an improved road as opposed to woods.
But at what cost, what liability for the road now? Does he need to maintain this road? Because
So
it's my
the way a paper street works, especially if it's private, if you're accessing it, then, like, you have the right to use it. Anybody that abuts it has the right to use the paper street. Typically, private streets are something that the homeowners have to work out. If you're using it to get access to your property, then, yeah, you would be liable in a way.
But we wouldn't know what we're liable for. See, it's an unknown, and that's my objection at this point would basically be that this entire transaction would be unknown to someone who owns a substantial amount of property on that road, and no one has even once contacted him. So I have to object based on that ground, that had someone contacted, reviewed the plan, reviewed the options, or even had the courtesy to just discuss it with him, because right now there's very many unknowns that I might not even know everything right now without looking into it and seeing exactly what they're doing. Because if it's in the future, if my husband chooses to develop the property, then is he at the mercy of the person who opened the road as to what he's going to be charged to use the road?
I mean, if you want to adjourn it and we can meet and sit down and go over it with you. If anything, if you're looking to build a house, he's building the road for you. So he would be taking on,
He's helping you.
yeah, if anything, he's helping you.
But
When-
ordinarily, when someone's helping you, they're upfront and come to you and say, this is my plans for this property. So you must understand my reservation as to how much help I'm getting given if I wasn't advised about it.
Yeah, I understand. I can't make him contact you. That's why these
Understand.
things are done at public hearings, and the board doesn't have to make
But
it if they don't want to.
But also, the sign for the subdivision, we saw simply this weekend driving by. So I wouldn't have known about this meeting and this property and the effects that it could potentially have, great value of an effect if the property winds up affecting the value of it for the property owner. We had no knowledge of it. The sign for the subdivision, I don't think was put out for a period of time. I think it was only put out this weekend, so I think it's only like 5 days.
Yeah, the requirement is 5 days. That's, for this board, the notice for all applications is 5 days. A sign needs to be posted, and there's also an advertisement in the newspaper. They also post the agendas online, but there's no mailings required for this board.
Okay, and it's just 5 days, not 5 business days?
It's, I don't.
I'm
I
just
think- yeah, I
inquiring,
think
I'm
the
not
word-
being
5 days,
disrespectful.
Yeah,
just
it's just
5
5
days,
days.
5
I
days.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, it's
It's
just that,
okay, it's all right.
you know, you're just driving to pick up the mail, and all of a sudden you see something's happening that could potentially adversely affect you greatly. So-
That's usually how it is, and what happens is, your property is not developed yet.
Correct.
So you have your own driveway, you just have to maintain your own driveway, but you have right outside of your own, side of your home. If you did, in the future, if you did, build something on one of those pieces of property, the person who would own that and would come out onto that driveway would probably be responsible for it, probably snow removal, it's about it, for where, and they're gonna do that no matter what to get out of their home. So that's the maintenance, that's really about the only maintenance and, the little unforeseen things of
But
pothole.
I don't mean to cut you off. I would appreciate the opportunity to at least discuss this further and sit down and discuss it, because I
Sure.
understand what you're saying, but that also changes the
Mhm.
character of that parcel of land, because it is behind the family home, and now it will abut to a road where before it was a very private piece of property,
Okay,
just tree lined. So if possible, I would appreciate the opportunity
Okay.
just to discuss it further.
But this is
Yeah.
a town paper, it is a town paper street, right?
Yeah, it's the paper, the paper
Right, it's
sheet's
on the
been there,
map.
yeah.
And then the other property owner has rights to develop.
That's who he's making the application. for,
Right.
Yeah. He's doing everything proper.
I didn't say it was improper, I'm just saying that we were taken by,
Talk to him tonight.
my
Well,
husband's
her
not here this
Oh, your
evening.
husband?
Yeah,
That was the thing, that he didn't have the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have reached out sooner, but there was no information as to who to reach out. And I think he tried to call the town, but he couldn't get through.
good.
So it wasn't that we left it till just to your meeting to find out, but we would want to inquire.
You're also welcome to go to the planning department, which is right across from Town Hall, and you can go and you can call them, you can stop in, and Matt and any of the other people who are there, and the planners there, would be, a lot of help to you. So, if you ever have any questions, you can do that, but I guess we can, what do you think we should?
You can move to adjourn. it.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what
we'll
you want.
we'll adjourn it.
I
just-
appreciate that.
We'll hear the arguments tonight, but we will table this because, you raise a very valid point for starters.
Thank you. It's just so we can get our ducks in order. I'm being quite frank. That's what it is. We were taken by surprise, and I know that you may see it as a positive step, but when we look into it, it might not be positive for us, and I'd like that opportunity.
Usually around town, that's what happens. They put up the subdivision sign, and usually people, unless there's other different reasons, but for this situation, just the sign, 5 days, and then you can call the planning department, or you can just come to the meeting, and that's usually what happens. So they did the right thing. It's just a matter of you not knowing what the procedure is, and we'd be glad to adjourn it.
Right.
Matthew, just a quick question. I
Yeah.
mean, the road, according to the application, will go 168 feet down, correct?
Yeah.
And I would assume that would be done to the qualifications and standards established by the highway department?
Yeah, so this was reviewed by the highway department, engineering, traffic, DEW took a look at it, and we do, so yeah.
Specifically as it relate to, gravel bed, asphalt, and drainage?
Yeah, everything's gotta be done, that's why there's a bond posted. It's
Okay,
the
because that's another issue, is like now it will affect runoff and things like that.
Yeah,
so.
it's designed, so that's why the town engineering department reviews it, to make sure that, the drainage is done correctly. And those numbers that I was reading off the performance bond, it's basically to cover the work he has to post that amount of money. Sorry, this keeps going in and out. Construct it, and he gets that money back if everything's done correctly. If not, that's why we have that money, and then the town has to hire people to do it, basically.
Right, it just also because I know that he said he was going to offset it.
There's an existing driveway in there.
Right.
I mean, you could move the driveway,
Oh, no,
try
I'm
not
not,
to
I'm not
cause more
asking
pro,
for
yeah, we're
that.
not
Please
trying
don't
to cause.
misunderstand. I'm just saying that if it's moved over, then there's trees there. I don't know what that's going to do to the root structure of the trees. There are
Right.
tall pines, so there's a few things that,
Mhm.
so I appreciate the adjournment very much. Thank you.
So what are we looking at, Matt? You think
6 is the next meeting.
October 6th.
October 6th?
That would give you a chance to contact the planning department, sit down and have your questions resolved, okay?
Thank you, because I understand you said it was the 5 days, but it was really only Monday, Tuesday, or today that we could have been, and we work, so, thank you.
Okay, so that, this, he won't have to post it again because
If you
we're
adjourn it
we're
to,
adjourning.
if you adjourn it to a specific date, you don't need to post it
Yeah,
again.
so you just make sure you stop
Okay.
into the town and make sure you sit down with the planning department and discuss everything, your husband and yourself. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Anybody else want to be heard on it?
Does anybody else have any questions for the board? Any questions?
Come on up.
to the mic.
There you go.
Welcome to the party.
Name and address, please.
Hey, my name is Lisa Reed. I know I'm very short, sorry. I reside at 16 Waverly Avenue. My concern here is not only how this is going to directly impact my neighbors who will now lose their driveway. Ultimately, the road will be directly up against their house. So I worry about their property value, but also I'm more concerned about the traffic on Waverly Avenue. Right now, it is a very narrow street. We have 2 other streets that come off of it. It is technically a dead end, but the amount of traffic that we have on this road is more than you would think for a dead end. So for him to be building more houses, I'm assuming for this to be beneficial to him, it would be more than just one house down the line that he's building. I'm just concerned about the traffic that will come from this. That's all.
But we are looking at one home, correct?
Right.
Yeah, that's what.
Right now, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, one home and probably a couple of cars.
I mean,
Maybe 1 or 2 more homes and maybe the same situation. I was down there today and I know it's a quiet street, but there, it'll. Well, I mean, relatively, when I was there, it was quiet.
You guys rehearsed that, right? I mean,
I was there for about maybe 10 or 15 minutes. It was pretty quiet, but that means nothing. But it's, in other words, I can see it's not going to be any more than that. Whatever. Somebody like me who went down to see this application, and anybody else passing through, I wouldn't worry about that. But you can also go down to the planning department and discuss that. I'm sure they have more specifics on that. Okay? So we're going to adjourn this to the October 6th.
Anyone else?
Oh, was anybody else? I think that was the only one raised a hand. We're good?
Okay.
Okay. So, in the matter of 280A application, Osgood Place, I move that we adjourn the public hearing to the October 6th meeting of the planning board.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? The hearing is closed. The motion adopted. I just want to say that anybody does have any questions, please, from now until October 6th, make sure you go down to the planning department or call them and get all your questions answered, because we will be hearing that night, so appreciate that. And
Oh, no minutes.
that's it. We have no minutes. I move to adjourn this meeting.
So I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned.